Good morning. We are HandEX. We are Europe's digital-first export financing partner, and we're based in Hamburg, in Germany. So quickly, what is export financing? Export financing is a bit of a misnomer in that it's the financing of the importer. Now, how that works today is an export credit agency who is backed by the government, underwrites the risk in the transaction, and then finances. Now, what we see today is in Europe, there's very little market penetration of trade credit insurance products. Only 10% of SMEs are using them. Additionally, 95% of the loan risk is underwritten by the export credit agency. We're also seeing portfolio losses of only 0.15% across underwritten loans and an upper yield potential of 7.8%. So export finance is something that is not anything new, but the process today is extremely complicated and lengthy. This is a simplified version of the process on the screen behind me. I won't go through each individual steps, but as we can see, it's not particularly simple. What are the problems behind this? So the first thing that we see is that there are a lot of analog processes today. There are still 4 billion pieces of paper being used in export financing. This leads, of course, to long durations of applications and very limited automation and digitization. Additionally, banks are turning away as much as 50% of transactions because of the high overhead costs that they have and the lack of KYC and credit scoring abilities that they have for checking these importers in other countries. Finally, on the back-end side of things, we see limited standardization and integration between bank and export credit agency, to the point that 27% of investors in these financial products say, actually, we don't really understand what the underlying risk is here, but they would be very much interested in working with a standardized product. So we're solving these three areas by, first and foremost, we've created a digital application process which allows for full management of the application and storage of documentation online. And later we want to move into a blockchain solution which allows all parties to have a single point of truth. We're solving for higher rejection rate by incorporating digital KYC processes and alternative credit scoring models. And additionally, we operate on a much more efficient cost base in that we use robotic process automation to automate our workflows, and we utilize natural language processing in order to extract the really important information out of documents, reducing manual processing time. Then on the standardization, we've introduced a standardized contract, and additionally we've integrated the two processes between bank and export credit agency, making for a much more streamlined process. So on the screen behind me, this is what the application, this is what our software looks like at the moment. As you can see, the application can be managed by the exporter, the importer. They can see their status. Instead of telephoning, instead of sending emails, it's all there in real time. Additionally, other parties can be invited into an application process in order to fully evaluate or fill out the application. An example of one transaction that we worked on, or that we financed, was a German EPC who was exporting their goods to North Africa. The customer wanted to pay over a period of 36 months and was unable to pay the full amount up front. It was a photovoltaic system, and basically through this financing, this project was able to be completed. Briefly, what does the HandEX ecosystem look like? Of course, you have the exporters and the importers. Additionally, we work with Warengold Bank, who acts as our fronting partner, provides us with the banking license and the regulatory body, additionally provides the financing for these loans. Euler Hermes is our underwriting partner, and they underwrite all the loans up to 5 million euros. Additionally, we incorporate third-party data sources in order to validate these transactions and to efficiently process these transactions. Finally, our internal risk engine is the core motor that processes all of this data in one. Just very briefly looking at the unit economics on a hypothetical transaction. So if we take a 5 million euro transaction, we assume an interest rate of 10% and a default of 5%. We then incorporate costs for customer acquisition and loan processing. We can actually see there in the fourth column that the loan segment is unprofitable. Now, what we do is in the first phase, we drive cost savings through our processes and through our platform, turning the loan segment marginally profitable. But then through the incorporation of the credit insurance, we massively increase the profitability in the segment, completely unlocking a loan segment which has been massively underserved by banks today. In terms of timeline, we've been moving very, very, very quickly. We kicked off the company in January this year with 3 founders. March, we closed our seed funding round. In May, we connected to the API from Euler Hermes. September, closed our partnership with Varangold Bank, and we've got an 8-digit volume of transactions originated already. In future, we want to expand into private credit insurance and set up an SPV to repurchase the loans and securitize these going forward. Very quickly to the team, because I'm running out of time. High-Tech Gründerfonds is our investor. Andrew Shaw, who's the CEO of Koya, is a business angel with us as well. Ingo Zalek, ex-board director of Otto, is a business angel with us. And as an advisor, we have Kai Preugschat, who is the ex-co-head of underwriting at Euler Hermes with 35 years of international export credit experience. Patrick, CFO, previous M&A and private equity experience. Asfandia Malik, our CTO, was one of the early developers at Creditech, one of Germany's largest fintechs. And myself, I have a mixture of banking, venture capital, and fintech experience. We will be fundraising as an early stage startup, so please do come and have a conversation with me afterwards. I'll be happy to tell you a little bit more about HandEX and exactly what export financing is and how it works. Thank you very much.